Hi everybody and welcome. What we'd like to do now is take you through an ADF careers information session. What we're going to talk about today is the lifestyle benefits of a career in the ADF, as well as the different methods of entry, and so you can work out which one might potentially be the best one that works for you. What we're also going to do is talk about the recruitment process and how that works. To start with, my name's Rob. I've been in the Army for 9.5 years and I work in Army Aviation as a mission support ground crew.
Hi everyone, my name's Louisa and I'm a Personnel Administration Specialist in the Royal Australian Navy, and I am currently a leading seaman and been in the Navy for 4 years.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay and I'm a ground mechanical engineer fitter in the Royal Australian Air Force. To break that down for you, I pretty much fix and maintain any small arm weapons.
So what I'd like to do now is talk about who we are as an organisation. The Australian Defence Force, or ADF, is made up of 3 separate entities, being the Navy, the Army and the Air Force. There are over 260 job roles that you can apply for in the Australian Defence Force, and they're broken into a number of different categories. There's aviation, business and administration, trades, engineering, as well as combat and security roles. But there are many, many more, and we'll break down the different methods of entry as we go through this presentation.
I will now explain what the ADF does. There are 3 main factors. 1 is defending our nation. 2 is helping communities and other countries in conflict and humanitarian aid. And 3 is supporting our allies.
There are a number of pathways to join Defence, and you can join the way that works for you. Our 2 main pathways are general entry and officer entry. And the way I like to describe the difference between the 2 is if you think about an AFL football team. The officers are those that are the leadership and the management of that team. So they could be the coaches, the lawyers, the doctors, anyone that supports that team to be able to go on the field and play. General entry are the players on the field. These people have been highly trained in their specialised role to be able to perform their job effectively. There are a different level of responsibility and leadership within the team, and these could be at a higher level, the captains or the senior players of the team, and the more junior levels could be those that are just entering Defence and still under training.
So what I'm going to talk to you now about is general entry non-technical, and that's what I am. The education requirements for general entry non-technical is passes in English and mathematics in year 10, and that's with a 50% pass mark as a minimum for entry into the Australian Defence Force. The good thing about general entry non-technical is you don't need any previous experience in the roles. If you take me, for example, I was a fully qualified carpenter before I joined the Army, and I had no idea how to talk on radios and talk to Army helicopters. So it was a really good opportunity for me to learn new skills and get those qualifications through the Australian Defence Force. In order to apply for the Australian Defence Force and general entry non-technical, you can start that application at 16.5 years old, but you can't actually join until you are 17 years of age. Another really good thing, which we will cover off on later on, is gap year. There are roles in general entry non-technical that are available through the gap year entry method.
I'll now talk to you about general entry technical. That is pretty much all the trades in Defence Force. That's what I do. We have over 31 different trades in the Australian Defence Force. The best thing about doing a trade in the Defence Force is shorter training timeframes. You'll also get paid better from the start than you would on the outside. The education requirements to do a trade in the military is Year 10, Maths, English and Science of a 50% pass. The age requirement to do a trade in the military is 16.5 to apply and 17 to enlist. There's also an avenue to join as a fully qualified tradesman as well. These might be open to reservists and full-time. Another benefit of doing a trade in the military is the pay. You'll be getting paid better than you would as a first-year apprentice as a civilian. Another method of entry is direct entry officer. This might be if you've finished Year 12 but you don't really want to do a degree. The education requirements would be Year 12 English and then 3 other tertiary subjects. We also offer the gap year direct entry officer.
You can also come and study with us at the Australian Defence Force Academy. This is a military university that's located in Canberra, and your degree will be fully paid for by Defence. This means that you will not get a HEX or a help debt at the end of your degree. As well as your degree being paid for by Defence, you will also receive a competitive salary whilst you are studying. During your time at ADFA, you will be studying the degree of your choice, which could range from engineering, technology, business, arts, and many others. The way that you apply for ADFA is that you will apply directly to the University of New South Wales for your degree, and at the same time, you will apply through Defence Force recruiting. Along with your studies, you will be studying to be a member of the military. So You might do some university lectures in the morning and then do some basic military training in the afternoons. On completion of your studies, you will be receiving a degree from the University of New South Wales.
So what I'll talk through now is another couple of entry methods for officer entry. The first one is graduate entry. What you can do if you go off and study post year 12 and get your qualification, your university degree that we don't offer at ADFA, you can come to us with that qualification. Just of note, there is some extra eligibility criteria that may apply depending on the graduate entry method you're applying for, and all that information is available on the Defence Jobs website. The next one I'll talk you through is Defence University Sponsorship. DUS for short is an awesome opportunity. What that means is you can go off and get a degree at the university of your choice. After your first year of study, you can come and have a chat with us, but ideally after your first semester. We'll have a look at your results and the degree that you're intending to complete, and from there we'll provide you with information on whether or not you might be suitable to fulfil a Defence University sponsorship role. If you're successful, what we will do is we will pay for the remainder of your degree. We'll also give you the benefits of a full-time serving military member, and also, finally, we will pay you a wage whilst you're studying. And that wage can be anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000 a year. Pretty awesome opportunity. The obligation we ask from you if you do receive Defence University sponsorship is whatever we pay for, we want that back plus an additional 12 months. We also offer reserve service across all 3 services. It's an awesome opportunity to work in the military part-time and gain new and exciting skills that you won't normally do in your civilian role. Another really awesome benefit about reserves is it's tax-free money. So you can work full-time and the money you receive as a reservist is not taxed at all. It is also extremely flexible, which is really great if you're studying or you are working a full-time job. Another really good thing about reserve service, it's within your local community, so you don't have to travel interstate or move interstate to fulfil that service. There are plenty of local units scattered around Australia, so you won't have to travel or move far.
The Defence Force also offers a gap year program. This is for people aged from 18 to 24 years old and may not know what job they want to go into in defence. So in the Army and Air Force, you can choose a specific role that you're interested in, and then you'll train for the first 6 months in that role. For the second 6 months, you'll actually partake in doing that job. That might involve further training on the job, shadowing others in the permanent force that are already in that role, and learning more about everything that you're going to do in that trade. The Navy Gap Year program is slightly different, where you don't choose a specific role, it's more general, and you'll train in basic skills to be in the Navy, and then for the remainder of your 12 months, visit all bases over Australia and get the opportunity to go on board a ship and potentially serve with other sailors or officers. On my last ship, we had a group of gap years come on a trip with us up to Brisbane and Cairns, and then from Cairns we went overseas to New Caledonia and back. So that was a great opportunity for these young people. The education requirements for the gap year program is Year 10 passes in English and Maths and a completion of Year 12. For officer entry gap year, the education requirements are passes in Year 12 English and 3 other tertiary subjects. However, subjects may be specific for each role.
So what we want to talk to you now about is the lifestyle around serving in the military. It is very unique. What I really want to start with is the interesting and varied work that you can do within the Defence Force. Me personally, working in Army aviation has been really exciting for me. I've had a number of different awesome opportunities to go flying in our aircraft. But not only that, since I've been working here at Defence Force Recruiting, I've had the opportunity to go on ships, do visits and those type of things. So it's really varied work. To break that down even further, you could potentially go to work and spend the day shooting on the range. After you've done some PT, whatever the case may be, it's a really awesome job and no day's the same. What I also want to talk about is the fact that I'm 32 years old and I've never paid for or seen a medical bill. It's awesome. So we get free medical and dental cover if you are serving in the full-time military. Recently, I broke my collarbone. I enjoy motorbike riding, but not on that particular day. I was fortunate enough that I got all my medical bills and expenses paid for, and I did require surgery. So I ended up having 4 weeks off work for that, but I don't have any sick days. It doesn't come out of my book in that regard. So it's pretty awesome opportunity there.
You'll get some great opportunities for travel and adventure in the Defence Force. So travelling with the Navy on a ship, you're working and living with up to 200 crew members. These people become almost like your family. So you'll get to travel all around Australia and internationally with them. You get to stop at ports overseas and get to explore the town or the city that you might be in and then you'll get back on the ship and move on to the next one.
As you can imagine, the ADF is a very active organisation. And we do have fitness facilities, whether that be a gym, pools, basketball courts, tennis courts, etc. on every base. Another exciting thing is the sports you get to play. Myself, I play rugby league for the Air Force team, also for the Air Force Indigenous side. Through that, I've got to travel around all around Australia just to play footy. Also, that doesn't just stop at rugby league. We've also got AFL, soccer, pretty much any sport you can think of. That can be played at local unit level for your service, so inner service when Navy versus Air Force versus Navy, etc. And also internationally if you make the ADF team.
So what we'd like to talk to you about now is the training and education available to you in the Australian Defence Force. Once you enlist or appoint into the military, the first thing you do is military training. We call that basically your recruit training or your basic training. And that's where we turn you from a civilian into a soldier, sailor or airman. For me personally, or in the army, you would go off to Kapuka and Wagga Wagga going through general entry. You spend 80 days there learning numerous different skills, everything from how to fire weapons, navigation, fieldcraft, training, drill, service value, service history, but you also get to learn the other fun stuff like how to make your bed, how to iron a uniform to a military standard. If you're going officer entry, you'll go to Royal Military College Duntroon, located in Canberra, for 18 months worth of training. You'll do some similar things that the general entry candidates do with regards to military training, but then you'll also focus a lot more on leadership and management.
If you enter as an officer in the Royal Australian Navy, you'll complete your training at HMAS Creswell in Jervis Bay. If you are entering as a sailor, you'll complete your training at HMAS Cerberus down in Victoria, which is where I went as a general entry sailor. During your training at HMAS Cerberus, you'll be learning different skills, particularly about how to survive at sea, how to put out fires at sea, how to repair pipes through flood damage. You'll be learning basic first aid skills, which I have continued throughout my career, and I was actually part of the ship's medical emergency team. So I work a lot with the medics at sea and making sure that our crew are safe.
If you are joining the Royal Australian Air Force in general entry, you'll be conducting your recruit training at 1RTU, which is in Wagga, for 10.6 weeks. Throughout that training, it's much like the Army, and you'll learn general skills and also airman skills. If you're appointing as an officer, you'll be conducting your training down at East Sail at OTS, which is Officer Training School, and the training is conducted over 18 weeks. Throughout my recruit training, I made great mates that I still speak to now, 4 years later. I also did things that would definitely put me out of my comfort zone, but has made me a better person today. To say training was easy would probably be a lie, but it was probably the best experience I've had throughout my life. And graduation day was probably a very proud moment for me and my family.
At the completion of your military training, the next stage of your training process is going to complete initial employment training. And that's where you learn your job role specifically to the trade or job that you've applied for to join the military. We love training in the military. It's something we continuously do. We want to make our Defence Force members the best they can be, and that's through professional and personal development. Throughout your career, you do promotion courses, you do other courses to enhance your skill set within your job role as well. All the skills and the training that you do in the military does equate to nationally recognised qualifications, in particular if you're doing trades also. The skill sets that you learn in the military are very transferable, and if the time comes and you decide to leave the military, you have a great round set of skills that are very, very useful and very, very lucrative to external employers. Within the Defence Force, we offer a number of study benefits to our members, where the Defence Force may subsidise or pay for potentially tertiary degrees or other trade qualifications.
The female pre-entry fitness standards are slightly different to the males. They are definitely achievable, and we do offer services throughout the recruitment process that are available to you to help you achieve those standards. The female pre-entry fitness standards are different from the males, and they vary across the services. We do have specialised teams within recruitment to help you achieve these standards.
As Louisa touched on, there is a difference between the female and male fitness tests. To break this down for you, the push-ups between each service are a little bit different. Navy and Air Force are to a cadenced. The Army, you have 2 minutes to push out as many as you can. With the sit-ups, all 3 services are the same and to a cadence, roughly to a 3-second cadence. And the beep test is a shuttle run between 20 metres. So as you can see at the bottom of the slide, there is a different requirement for the clearance divers, commandos and Air Force ground defence officers. These requirements are the exact same for males and females.
To assist you in your preparation for your fitness requirements, we have an ADF Active app available to you to download from the app stores. This app is a really handy tool in helping you get yourself up to the required level to join the military. The best thing about the app, it tells you all about the technique required, because we are a little bit fussy in the military. So make sure you utilise the app to view what the techniques are required for the push-ups and the sit-ups. It also has the cadences, which we've spoken about earlier, available on the app, so you can play those cadences and practice as appropriate. The app also has fitness programs that are available to you and the ability for you to track your progress as you're training. That concludes our ADF Careers information session. The best way to stay connected is to jump on Defence Jobs. We do have priority roles available to look at on the Defence Jobs website, but also stay close or stay in tune with our social media channels.